guys, I'm back with my second review video today. In this video, I will be doing basically like a battle of the full coverage foundations. I will be doing the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation versus the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. Now, I wear the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation in Deep 80 Neutral, which that's what I have on right now. And in the Becca Ultimate Coverage, I wear the color Cacao, which is the second to darkest color. The darkest color in this foundation is Chestnut, which these two colors are to me, they're very similar. Let me just, when this oxidizes, it's similar, and we'll get to that. So, this is the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. As you guys can see, I've been using it because now the little vacuum pump is like, you see where it's at? Girl, I've been using this stuff. And then this is the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. Now, if we're doing a side-by-side comparison, what I like about both of these foundations is that they both have a pump, which I'll take the little stopper out of this one, but they both have a pump. Both of these foundations are full coverage, and when I say full coverage, they're very full coverage. They're both very rich, creamy consistencies. So let me say this, if you're a person who isn't really fond of a thick, rich, creamy texture foundation, I would not recommend this. Now, if you are someone who doesn't mind that and coverage is your concern, you have things like hyperpigmentation, post-acne scarring, uneven skin tone, uneven skin texture, these are definitely two foundations I would recommend. So let's start with the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. With this foundation, like I said, it does come with a pump. It has the vacuum on the inside, so as you pump it, it goes up and you can see how much product you have left. The only thing I don't like is once you do kind of get to the top, you can't really see how much product you have left because of the way the packaging is, how it's all black right here. That's one thing I don't like. However, I really do like this foundation. It's 24-hour wear, full coverage like I stated. It claims to be transfer resistant and a matte finish. The first two things I will agree with. The transfer resistant, and I guess they say resistant because it's definitely not transfer proof. As you see, it's not on my clothes or anything, but to me, it's not, to me, that's a tricky one. Matte finish, it's more matte than the Becca Ultimate Coverage, but to me, this isn't really a true matte finish. It's just not. To me, the finish of both are pretty similar. They're pretty similar. But to me, it's not a true matte finish. Does it say on here? Okay, same thing, really. That is 24-hour wear, full coverage, transfer resistant matte finish. Things I like about this foundation. Like I said, the vacuum, I really love that because I like being able to see how much product I have left. I like that they do give you a stopper because a lot of these thick, rich consistency foundations, if you don't keep like the cap on them, like how I keep the cap on this, if you don't keep the cap on it or you don't keep something like this in it, they tend to the pump tends to get clogged up because the foundation is so thick. So I do like that they designed this with this so that when you're done using it, you can put it back in to keep the product from clogging up inside the pump. That was very brilliant packaging. What else do I like about this? For me, a bottle of this, well, let me say this. You can use about 2-3 pumps of this to do your whole face if you need that much. This is very full coverage, very, very, very full coverage. 2-3 pumps, your whole face it's covered. As far as like imperfections, they disappear. Uneven skin tone, uneven skin texture, and that's something else I like about this. It really can camouflage the texture of the skin as well. The only thing I don't like about this foundation in comparison to the Becca Ultimate Coverage is I feel like you have to set this foundation a little bit more. I feel like I have to put a little bit more effort into setting this foundation as opposed to the Becca Ultimate Coverage. I feel like it sets much more easily than this foundation does. Like I said, I do like this foundation. I've been using it since about 2016. But I do feel like I have to put in just a little bit more, not much, just a little bit more effort to set it the way that I like for it to be set. But if we're doing out of 10 stars, I'd give this 8.5, 9. I'd give it 8.5. Let's do 8.5. Because that's the only thing I don't like about it is I feel like I really have to, it's just a setting it apart. But as far as everything else, the coverage, the consistency, the color, Everything else I like. It's just the fact that I have to put in a little bit more effort to set it. That's the only thing that knocks it down a little bit. Now, if we're talking about the Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation, this is also a 24-hour foundation. It claims to give a natural finish, which to me it does. It says foundation redefined. Ultimate coverage in a surprisingly weightless and breathable cream. A perfectly balanced distribution of pigment and water at high concentrations allow the formula to adapt to all skin types. Lightweight and oil-free, it creates a second skin effect of undetectable flexible coverage with a natural long-wearing finish. Now, like I said, the natural finish, to me it is much more of a natural finish. It's not matte. It is long-wearing, most definitely. When it says a perfectly balanced distribution of pigment and water at high concentrations, this foundation is very pigmented, just like the Kat Von D. Both of these foundations are more pigment than water, which I think is what makes it so rich and creamy. I think most foundations have more water content as opposed to pigmentation. Like the Kat Von D, this foundation also has a pump. It doesn't have the stopper, but you do have a cap to put on it. This one does not have the vacuum, and I really wish that it did. That's one thing that's one drawback about this foundation. Because right now, this foundation is empty. It's just, since the foundation is so thick and rich, it's still on the sides of the glass. But this bottle is empty. It has the stem as opposed to the vacuum. And this foundation is very rich, just like the Kat Von D. I'm trying to see if I can get some on the stem. Okay, there we go. As you guys can see, it's very rich. Like you see, it's not. Baby, this stuff is thick. Okay, so that's why I tell people, if you're somebody who doesn't like thick foundation, neither one of these are for you. It is a very rich formula. I'm a heavy makeup wearer, so I do like it. But if you're somebody who does not like a lot of makeup or something then this, like I said, neither one of these foundations are going to be for you. The one drawback, like I said, I wish it had a pump. They are, not a pump, but the vacuum. They are both 24-hour foundations. The only thing I don't like about this is since it doesn't have the vacuum, it's kind of like you'll just be using it one morning, beating your face, and then next thing you know, it's like, but you can kind of finagle it a little bit because you can take it and like do like this a few times and get enough out so you can finish your face. With this, since it has the vacuum, baby, once it's empty, it's empty. Like it's nothing you can do to get any more product out. So this, I kind of do like that even if it does go empty, I can take the top off, get a Q-tip and like scoop some out. With this, I love the way this, to me, this foundation sets very easily. Out of 10 stars, I would really give this 9.5. The only thing for me, like I said, the only drawback is it doesn't have a pump. I keep saying a pump, golly. It doesn't have the vacuum in it. That's the only thing that makes me not want to give this 10 stars. Because when I tell y'all I buy this foundation religiously, if y'all knew how many boxes of this foundation I have, and you know, Becca's closing their brand September of this year. So at this point now I'm like starting to hoard this foundation. Because I have, which like I said, this one is empty, but I have 2, 3 more that I haven't even opened. Okay, that's just, I love it. And I'm probably gonna order some more because right now they're all on sale for 50% off. And the closer it gets to September, they're probably gonna go into an even deeper discount. But if I had to pick a winner, baby, y'all know this is gonna be my winner. Like I said, I just wish this had the vacuum on the inside so I can see how much product I have left. But then also at the same time, I'm kind of glad it doesn't, so I can actually scoop my product out once it's empty. But like I said, both of these, I want to say this retails for the Kat Von D foundation is like $36 maybe, $36, $37. I know it's under 40. It's like $36 or $37. This, since right now they're selling these for 50% off, these are only $22. Normally it's $44. But right now these are only $22 on BeccaCosmetics.com, at Ulta Beauty, and at Sephora. They're 50% off. And like I said, the closer it gets to September, they'll probably go on an even deeper discount. So I did my 2 review videos for you guys. Oh, the color comparison. To me, the only difference between the Deep 80 Neutral and the Cacao, once this oxidizes, to me, they look the same. To me, this foundation doesn't really oxidize like that. So let me throw that out there. To me, at least for this color, it doesn't oxidize. I can't speak for the other colors. But to me, it doesn't really oxidize. Now, the Kat Von D, this foundation does oxidize. Because when I first put it on, it looks very, since the undertone is neutral, which they claim it's neutral, when I put it on my skin, it looks very golden when I first put it on. And then it dries down and it gets a little bit darker. So let me say that, to me, this foundation, when I put it on, it gives me more warmth than when I first put this one on. Because to me, when I put this one on, it looks warm, but then once I set it, it just looks neutral. To me, this one starts off golden and then becomes neutral. Because I don't be wanting to, baby, y'all know I don't want no brick red foundation on my face. Because that's never been the look. I don't want no brick red foundation on my face, absolutely not. So normally if I found a foundation where I like the coverage, the consistency, and the undertone, I stick to it. That's me. I'ma stick with it. That's my man, and I'ma stick beside him. You hear me? But nonetheless, until next time, much love from me. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys have any questions about either of these foundations, feel free to drop them below in the comment box. I'll see you guys later. Bye.